Hello world, it is Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, and another beautiful morning in Defiance with clear blue skies. Chilly, a little warmer than yesterday, a couple of degrees warmer, but still chilly. It's now fall. The devotion for today is entitled The Doorway by Martha Spong. Martha bases the devotion upon the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verse 1, New Revised Standard Version. Now, before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. Jesus, excuse me. And Martha writes, Jesus gathered the disciples for a dinner we have come to call the Last Supper, a story we tell every time we gather for communion. We ritualize the different events in John's Gospel on Maundy, Thursday with the washing of feet or hands for the more cautious among us. In one version, Jesus serves his followers, and in the other, he serves himself to us as the bread of life and the cup of blessing. The way we tell those stories brings us to a threshold between what was and is to come, like a doorway between memory and possibility that is right now and yet not. We tell our own stories like that. I remember my father at an airport handing me a crisp $100 bill to take my son out to lunch. I remember his cousin years later making sure to sit with me at a family wedding to put me at ease. I remember eating a holiday meal with my grandmother after she moved into a nursing home, an effort that cost her more than we knew. Every time I tell their stories, we stand in the doorway together. The Gospel tells us Jesus ate meals with his disciples again after the resurrection, which makes it odd to call that supper last. It gives me hope for meals to be eaten somewhere beyond the doorway, farther than I can see now, with nothing of past love lost. And Martha's prayer. Gracious God, we thank you for love that lasts until the end and beyond. Amen. One of the things that comes to mind for me in this devotion is the interconnectedness of all of us. I think it was Ram Dass who said, "We are all just walking each other home," and I think that's true. Because our lives are so interconnected with one another, and at every moment when we're with someone, we are at a doorway between the past and what might be. It also reminded me of a podcast I listened to this morning while I was exercising, talking to this forest ecologist who has written a book about the interconnectivity of all the fauna and the flora in a forest, and how there are vast underground fungi networks that connect plants to one another, sometimes covering squares of miles of a forest floor, connecting all the plants together, and how they're symbiotic in their relationship. They depend upon one another, and human beings are the same way. We are dependent upon one another. In the United States, we like to think of ourselves as fiercely independent, but it's a fallacy, because we are so dependent upon each other for everything. So, think about the doorways you stand in. Think about the times you spend with people, and the connection between what was, what is, and what will be in that moment. And I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.